that really lies at the root of every problem, of how a person thinks and what.
My question is to Farhan. This association, Mard and Population Foundation of India, to begin with, what are you all going to do? How are you all going to start off this association?
Well, there are a couple of thoughts. Mard, again, for what it is that we had started off and what we wanted to do, was to constantly be creating content that would be messaging content. We've done it so far in the form of some poetry. We've done it in the form of 2 songs now that have come out. And similarly now with this association, we are also hoping maybe to create some content supporting this show. So whether it happens in the form again of some more poetry writing, whether it happens in the form of songs that can be either part of the show or can be used to promote the show further, how my personal time can be used to get people, to drive people to watch the show. So all these things are currently being discussed, but it will be focused on content creation that will drive people towards this show, towards this messaging. That is essentially what will be happening.
Hi, Farhan. Farhan, you've obviously done a lot of research on how, men in this country and women actually, look at this whole issue of gender inequality. And we are all working towards it to make this happen, to make equality happen. How do you think are the basic problems that you feel today in our country that exist, that are the basic barriers in achieving gender equality?
In all honesty, this is a very, very long discussion. It would be very difficult for me to sum it up and give it to you in one line. But I think at the heart of it all, which I think Feroz has touched upon, Poonam has also touched upon, is essentially a mindset issue. I think that really lies at the root of every problem, of how a person thinks and what your role is as a man and what a woman's role is as a woman given a certain social setup that we all belong to. I think that needs some reworking, because when that changes, it will reflect in many things. It will reflect in the ratio of female infanticide changing. It will change dowry deaths. It will change child marriage happening. It will change many, many things. We will start changing if you start thinking of women not as having to play a certain role in society. So it's a mindset thing, which I think everyone is trying to address. And if we can find that balance, I think automatically it will start reflecting and manifesting in many different ways.
Sure. This show also is trying to achieve that.
Firstly, to just get equality on stage, can I ask Feroz to come and sit down?
Thank you.
Yes. Now that equality has been done. The show obviously is trying to achieve that, and also because now we know we are doing this campaign in a lot of metro cities, and the program probably will reach to a lot more to the rural areas where this needs to be established. How do you think in houses and households which are in the rural areas, can a man stand up in his own way? It doesn't always have to be preventing a situation, but in his own day-to-day activities, how do you think a man can support a woman in a house where she's probably working and in doing household chores or anything else?
Well, I mean, I think at the basis of it all, I think is education. I think if you empower a girl by access to education, access to health, and hugely, again, which Poonam has spoken about, and I completely agree, is give them control and charge over their reproductive cycle of when they want to have kids. If that decision lies with them, then they can plan their lives accordingly. The fact is, if somebody is planning your life for you, it's very difficult for you to achieve everything that you set out for yourself. I'll give you a very macro example, which is something that could apply to anyone. If you want to go on a holiday and I plan that holiday for you, you may not end up actually having as much fun as you'd like to have if you planned it for yourself. It's just as simple as that. So if I can plan my own life, if I have control over my own life, then I can live it to the fullest, because I'm completely in charge and in control of all my decisions. So I think the most important thing for men and for women, because it's equally as important as parents, because there's a mother as well, for them both to give the girl child absolute control and freedom to exercise their choices vis-a-vis their own life. I think that's very, very important.